1000 LB Sisters, Amy hosts. Her first art show, Sel's first painting. The Kentucky air carried a soft warmth that afternoon, the kind that made everything feel possible. Inside a modest but lovingly decorated community center, colorful lights reflected off handmade canvases lining the walls. It wasn't a high-end gallery in New York or Los Angeles, but to 1000 LB Sisters fans, this moment felt just as big. Because today wasn't just any day, it was Amy Slayton's first ever art show. Amy stood near the entrance, nervously adjusting the hem of her blouse. Her hands, usually busy juggling motherhood, filming, and everyday chaos, were trembling for a different reason today. "Y'all think people are actually gonna buy something?" she whispered to her sister, Tammy Slayton, who sat nearby with a supportive smile. Tammy rolled her eyes playfully. "Girl, if they don't, I will. I ain't letting you go home sad today." Amy laughed, but the nerves didn't fully disappear. This wasn't just a hobby anymore. It was her heart, her growth, her story painted onto canvas. Fans of 1000 LB Sisters had watched Amy go through so much. Weight struggles, motherhood challenges, emotional ups and downs. But what many didn't expect was this quieter transformation. Amy discovering art. It started simply. Late nights, acrylic paints, a cheap set of brushes from a local store. "I just needed something that was mine," Amy once said during filming. Something that didn't feel like stress or pressure. What began as doodles turned into full canvases. Bright colors, emotional strokes, and surprisingly deep themes filled her work. Family, resilience, identity, and healing. The room itself told a story. Each wall was dedicated to a different chapter of Amy's life. Before. Wall, darker tones, chaotic brushstrokes representing struggles. Change. Wall, mixed colors, messy but hopeful transitions. Now. Wall, bright, bold, expressive, full of life and growth. At the center stood her most meaningful piece, a large canvas titled Still Standing. It showed a woman, not perfectly drawn, but powerful, surrounded by swirling colors that seemed to both weigh her down and lift her up. Tammy looked at it quietly. "That's you?" she said softly. Amy nodded. "Yeah, it is." One of the most emotional parts of the day was seeing Amy's family walk in. Chris, Amanda, and others from the Slayton Combs clan filled the room with laughter, teasing, and undeniable pride. "Never thought I'd see the day Amy became a fancy artist," Chris joked. Amy smirked. "I ain't fancy. I'm just talented." Amanda chimed in, "Girl, you better charge extra for that attitude." But beneath the humor was something real, admiration. They had seen Amy at her lowest, and now here she was, sharing her creativity with the world. Soon, fans began trickling in. Some came out of curiosity. Others came with deep admiration. One young woman approached Amy, holding back tears. "I've been watching you for years," she said. "Seeing you try new things, it made me feel like I could too." Amy's eyes widened. "Really?" "Yeah, I started painting because of you." That hit harder than any sale ever could. Amy hugged her tightly. "Then you already made this whole thing worth it." As the room filled, Amy tried to act casual, but she kept glancing at the small red stickers beside each painting. No stickers yet. No sales. Her stomach twisted. "What if nobody buys anything?" she whispered again. Tammy sighed dramatically. "Then we steal one of your paintings and call it a robbery. Boom. Instant publicity." Amy burst out laughing. "You're terrible." But the tension lingered. Then it happened. A middle-aged couple stood in front of a small canvas titled Sunrise After Storm. It wasn't the biggest or most detailed piece, but it was warm, hopeful, and quietly powerful. The woman turned to Amy. "How much for this one?" Amy blinked. "Oh, $50. The woman smiled. "We'll take it." For a moment, Amy didn't react. Then, "Wait, really?" The man laughed. "Really?" Amy's hands flew to her face as tears instantly filled her eyes. Her first sale. Tammy clapped loudly from across the room. "Y'all, she did it!" The room erupted in applause. As Amy carefully wrapped the painting, her hands still shaking, she kept repeating, "I can't believe this. I really can't believe this." The buyer leaned in gently. "You should. You put your heart into it, and people can feel that." Amy nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. For so long, she had been defined by numbers, weight, ratings, criticism. But today, she was defined by creativity. After that first sale, something shifted. People began looking more closely, asking questions, connecting with the art. One by one, red stickers started appearing. A bold, abstract piece, sold. A soft pastel portrait, sold. Even her still-standing centerpiece drew serious interest. Amy couldn't keep up. "Tammy, I might actually run out of paintings," she said, half laughing, half panicking. Tammy smirked. "Better start painting faster, Picasso." As the event continued, it became clear that this wasn't just about selling paintings. It was about healing. Amy spoke openly with visitors about her journey, how painting helped her cope with stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. "It's like, when I paint, everything else gets quiet," she explained. A fan nodded. "That's how I feel when I write." Amy smiled. "Then you get it." As the evening came to an end, the once full walls looked noticeably emptier. More than half the paintings were gone. Amy stood in the center of the room, taking it all in. "I did this," she whispered. Tammy rolled up beside her. "Yeah, you did." "And people actually liked it." "They didn't just like it," Tammy said. "They bought it." Amy laughed through tears. Later that night, as they packed up, Amy sat beside Tammy in a rare moment of calm. "You know, I was scared today," Amy admitted. "I know. I kept thinking people would laugh or not take me seriously." Tammy looked at her. "Amy, people been doubting us our whole lives. But look at you now." Amy nodded slowly. "Yeah, look at me now." This art show wasn't just a one-time event. It was a turning point. For the first time, Amy saw herself not just as a reality TV star, but as an artist, and more importantly, someone capable of growth, change, and reinvention. Fans online quickly reacted after clips aired on 1000lb Sisters. "I'm so proud of Amy. This is the best glow-up we've seen. She found something that's truly hers." As Amy loaded the last box into the car, she turned to Tammy with a grin. "I think I want to do this again." Tammy raised an eyebrow. "Another show?" Amy nodded. "Bigger, better, more paintings." Tammy smirked. "Well then, guess I better start practicing my art critic face." Amy laughed. But deep down, she meant it. This was only the beginning. Amy Slayton's first art show wasn't about perfection. It wasn't about fame. It wasn't even about money. It was about courage, the kind it takes to try something new, to share a piece of yourself, and to believe, just for a moment, that you're capable of more.